Could you talk a little bit about Heather Ray and how she became involved? And also, I was very moved by the two moms in the development of the character, not so much the actors, but the development of the characters.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know who Heather Ray is, she's Native American female documentary filmmaker, producer. She did a film called Frozen River as a producer that did very well. She also directed Trudell, the documentary on Trudell, which a lot of people know from here in the Bay as a Native activist. And Heather Ray got involved. You know, she's sort of been a champion of mine for a while, and she had been keeping her eye on this project for many years. And towards the end, when we ended up getting Kickstarter money to make the film in production, we needed a little bit more to get us through. And she had a relationship with Maya Entertainment, which is a Latino distribution company that also has been trying to give money for production. And she bridged that relationship with Maya and helped us get a little bit more money to get through. So, you know, she's just one of those rocks that I have, and I'm so blessed to have. So I wanted to acknowledge her relationship to me in this project. And the mothers in the film, you know, if someone were to ask me, who am I, MOSQUITA Y MARI, which I usually get asked, at that age I was definitely Mosquita, and you know, the parents are a reflection of my parents in terms of what I observed, the impact that immigration had on their dreams and their lives, on their relationship, their sex life. And so, you know, my family is often an inspiration for me. And so they are very much crafted via the people that are in my life. So that's where those women are coming from. Yes, ma'am.
So why did you choose film?
Why did I choose film? That's deep. Film, man, film is amazing. I love film. You know, I didn't grow up thinking that I could make movies. I didn't know we could make movies as people of color. I thought we just sort of watched them as spectators. And then I met this amazing woman, Shri Moraga, when I was a freshman at Cal Berkeley. And she totally flipped my world upside down in a good way. And she's, you know, she's a poet, she's a playwright, she's an artist, she's queer, she's Chicana, she's fierce, I wanted to be her in many ways. And, you know, she was my professor, and so I definitely started to understand how art played a different role, or could have a different role in society, instead of just being solely entertainment, but also, you know, sort of as a tool to raise consciousness and provoke conversation, and, you know, for healing. And so she planted that seed. And then I came here after I graduated from Cal, and I worked for a youth leadership program that used the arts as a way to empower young people and help them tell their stories. And we had a philosophy that we wouldn't do anything, we wouldn't ask the youth to do anything that we wouldn't do. And so I started doing more theater, I started doing video making, I started writing creatively, and it clicked, you know, something clicked, where I felt like I had found my rhythm, I had found my voice, and it just, you know, it just all started making sense. Like, I already had a sort of an activist, you know, seed in me, and wanting to change the world and stuff like that, but I didn't know exactly how I was going to do it. And what I did know, it wasn't going to be through academia. I knew that. So I needed to find the way that I was going to contribute, and it was through this youth program that those connections sort of happened for me, and I said, okay, this is going to be my tool. Film in particular, because I'm a very visual person. That's just, I feel like I was born into this world like that. I see things, you know? Some people hear things, some people are really good orators, and so for me it was the visual, and film made sense in that way, and I just, it's such a powerful platform, you know, for me personally. I get to work my stuff out, you know, and at the same time, it enables others to look at their stuff. So, so I felt like, you know, it was a good match, and I've given up a lot to pursue filmmaking but it's been worth it. And I'm starting to see the fruits of the labor now, you know. This is just the beginning, really. This is just the beginning.
I just wanted to say thank you so much. I mean, I'm Chicano, 32 years old, you know. It's the first time I've ever seen a story like my story on film, you know. And so a question I have for you is, if you like imagine like yourself sitting, you know, down, you know, in the audience, contemplating writing and directing their own film, what advice would you give a person like you 7 years ago, sitting here right now?
I would say, you know, it's a lot. Be practical. It's a dream that is worth fighting for, because it is a fight, right? It's, you know, reality is, you know, financing films with protagonists that are of color, period, female, you know, queer, all, you know, you know, the amount of money you get goes down, down, down. It's tough. It's a tough road, and so know that it's tough, and it's okay to know that, because I think that it allows you to be patient. It allows you to be strategic. Like, all right, it's going to be a long road. What do I need? Like, who do I need with me on this road? Because I have a serious story to tell. I have a dream to accomplish. So, you know, what are those things that I need? And for me, you know, it was definitely community. You know, like, I'm a community type person, and I worked really hard to build relationships with other artists of color, queer people of color, who I respected as artists, who I knew I was going to learn from. I sought out mentors who are already working in the industry, that, you know, I would be like, you're gonna make another film, let me work for you, like Peter Bratt. I was like, I had barely met him, and I was like, dude, if you're gonna make a film, like, hire me as your assistant. He's like, well, I've never had an assistant. And I'm like, who cares? Like, you know, we'll work it out. Like, I'm gonna help you, and you know. And so I just talked my way in there, and I got to watch him work. I got to watch Patricia Cardoso work on Real Women Have Curves, and really what I'm doing is I'm learning from their errors. Like, I'm learning from their success, but I'm learning so much from their errors, and I'm taking that with me, you know, and I carry that with me as I keep moving forward. And I think also, you know, don't measure the size of your step, you know, like, as long as you're stepping, you're moving forward, and always have momentum. You have to have momentum. I'm not up here just because of me. Not at all. I'm up here because of all of y'all. I'm up here because, you know, the gods and goddesses bless me that way. Like, you know, it's like that. It's not about, you know, the bootstrap thing. Like, I'm up here on my own. Like, no. Like, it does take a village to make a film and a filmmaker. So I think us as a village have the power to give birth to many filmmakers. So, you know, if that's your dream, then, you know, power to you. And I'm here. Like, you know. We can talk. So that's what I would say.
Thank you so much for being here and bringing this beautiful film to us. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Please don't forget to vote, and tell your friends to come out and support this film. It does have another screening in the East Bay, which is at Rush, but we tend to get Rush Line in. So let folks know. Have a good night. Thank you.